Hi, I'm Will, and I'm going to be giving you a beginner's guide to building your own PC. First, let's do a run through of the kind of things you'll need, and this is the ones I have. You'll need your CPU. I've gone for the Intel Core i5. You'll need a hard drive. I've got two SATA hard drives here, and I'm going to be using in RAID 0 mode, striped. You'll need some RAM. I've gone for 4 GB of G-Skill DDR3 dual channel RAM. You need your motherboard. This is an Asus P7P55D Evo. A good kind of mid-range motherboard. You'll need your power supply. Gone for a Corsair modular power supply, which modular means that all the cables come disconnected, so that you only need to connect the ones that you need to save clutter in your PC and help improve airflow for cooling. And you'll need a CPU cooler. Usually with the processor you get one in here, but I've gone for a better, quieter, more efficient one. And it's a Zalman. There you go. And last but not least, you will need a case. I've gone for quite a beast here. It's a Coolermaster Cosmos S. And I've also got here a couple of SATA cables for the hard drives. And what you might not see below the boxes here is I have an anti-static mat, and I have an anti-static wristband. Alright, so next time you see me, I'll have it all prepared and ready to start building. One thing I forgot to mention, strangely enough, is the graphics card. The reason I forgot that is because I'm actually going to be taking the one from my old PC upstairs and using that in this one, just to save a bit of money. And it's still a respectable card. It's a Nvidia Geforce 8800 GT. So I don't do much gaming on the PC, most of my gaming is console, so that graphics card will be fine for what I need it for. Alright, first of all we're going to install the CPU into the motherboard. And since I don't have any fancy camera crews or anything, I'm already zoomed in on the chip, the slot. So, each motherboard and chipset configuration is slightly different, but this will give you an idea of what you do. Most are kind of similar. So first of all, you want to release this kind of lever here, which loosens off this kind of door latch, if you will, to allow the CPU to go into there. Now let's get my CPU. Now all CPUs usually have on the underside a little gold arrow to dictate which direction it sits in. This motherboard, the arrow is on the outside of the latch there, so it should fit in this way. There we go. Slotted in nicely. Then just put the latch back down, press down the lever as hard as you can, it'll be quite stiff, and slot that in there. And that is your CPU installed. Okay, I've attached the bracket now. I had to use these kind of washers and bolts I got to attach them to the back there, so I could screw the screws into them so it secures nicely. Now then, just need to apply some thermal paste to the cooler as well. This is the part that goes onto the CPU. Although actually it says in the instructions to apply some more to the cooler, but I think there's probably enough there. I might just put a thin little dot on and spread it around a little in the center just to make sure. I've already put on the bracket onto the the other bracket onto the cooler itself, and now it's just a matter of lining it up. Now I just need to make sure it's all perfectly aligned. And that seems to be good. And there's not much ways it can go wrong with the alignment once you've got the bracket on. Now let's see if my screwdriver can fit to these screws, because it's a pretty big cooler. Now the trick is not to tighten all the screws all the way. Well, do each screw slightly and then just gradually tighten each one as you go along. Oh, clearly that one didn't quite tighten the way I hoped. Okay, there's that two in a little, and I'll get back to you when this is finished. Okay, as you can see, the cooler is now installed. Last thing to do is to connect its fan controller to the motherboard. Just find the appropriate slot. On the motherboard it says CPU fan. Stick it in. Let me just mute that. Now then, let me just turn this round. Next is to install a RAM. This is going to look... RAM's very easy to install. These very obvious slots here. Now you'll notice that there's a blue and a black and a blue and a black. You generally want, if you've got two RAM sticks like I do, you want to stick them in one of the same colour. Okay, so I'm going to stick them, if I can, in the black. This cooler might be in the way. Now this seems to slot in quite nicely. And then there's a little button, push switch here. You can just push back once it's fully slotted in. You will need to give it a fair good push down, and it clicked into place itself there. Other way around. So a good push in. Slot in place. And that is your RAM done. Nice and easy.